Let's name some carboxylic acid derivatives. And since there are several types of these, I already wrote the suffixes in advance. For the linear parent chains, we will use the shorter one. And again, with respect to the extra carbon, if you have parents that are cyclic, it's going to be a bit longer every time. Now let's have the first acyl halide, and it's acyl, not alkyl, because I have a COX. And do note that if you have your specific halogen, you're going to have to replace this accordingly, like chloride or bromide. So let's start. Parent chain always goes first, right? So 1, 2, 3. So I have here prop. It's fully single bonded, so I can go AN. And then you can just put here at the end the real suffix, which is oil, chloride. Note that this is a legitimate space, so there should be a space here even if it was a one-liner like that. And we don't anymore need to put number 1 because we acknowledge that most carboxylic acid derivatives are terminal functional groups, so we don't need that. Oh, don't forget that we start counting at the carbonyl, and since at number 2 we have a methyl, we need to indicate that at the prefix. So this now looks like the final name. For 54, we have here a cyclic parent. Of course, the priority group is this carbonyl bromide. So we're going to have to write the parent first. 5 carbons in a ring. So that's going to be cyclopent. And then all single bonds, so AN. And then you now put the real suffix, which is this. So it's going to be carbonyl space bromide. And since I have here this entire long word, I just cut it into 2 lines because of lack of space. Those are 2 consonants. So if it's between the bond type and the suffix, E is the better thing to use. Now, we do have a chloro at number 2, like so. So we're going to have to put that at the very start. Maybe I could move this so just I could compress this in 2 lines. Yeah. So this is the final name. 2-chlorocyclopentane carbonyl space bromide. Now we have here an open chain again, but this time with double bonds. And that shouldn't be a problem because all you have to do in that case is to replace the AN with EN. Although in this case, I have 2 of them, so we're going to have di-N. Another peculiar thing is that we have the COCl and it's condensed. And sometimes people tend to forget that this is still part of the parent chain. So in that case, I would kind of already count here and then backward, just to remind ourselves we have 5 carbons total. So that's going to be pent. And then again, we have a di-in, but that is at 2 for the first double bond and 4 for the second. So it's going to be, I think it will not fit. So I'm going to have to adjust a little bit. Yeah. And furthermore, I realized T and D are both consonants. So if it's between the parent and the bond type, so that's going to be A. And then here. And then the suffix is oil space chloride. So take note that this is a continuous word. Since it's consonant and vowel, we don't have to add anything. Oh, and we do not need to, or we have to, not forget 4-methyl, so I can put that here. So that's the entire name, 4-methyl penta 2,4-dienoyl chloride. Okay. Now let's move to the next type of derivatives, which are the anhydrides. And for this, we have the word format, ic for open, and carboxylic for cyclic anhydride. Now, remember that the format of an anhydride is RCOOCOR. So that means you have 2 acyl groups. It says here, if same, just write once. Meaning, if you have this and this being the same thing, you just need to write one word for both and you don't need to say it twice anymore. But if, of course, this is not the same as this, you're going to have to write them separately and in alphabetical order. So in 56, we have seemingly the same acyl group for both, which is 3 carbons. So we're going to have OIC. So it's going to be prop, and then fully single bonded AN, and then just straight up go with OIC. And since you have propanoic for both, this will already indicate both of them. So all you have to do is to have space and then anhydride. And this is finished. If it is a cyclic version though, you're gonna have to use this. So it's gonna be something like cyclo 5, so pent, in, and then carboxylic. So all of that will be one word, cyclo, 5 carbons, purely single bonded, and then you have to respect the real suffix, which is carboxylic. And then space, anhydride. Since this is one entire word, we see that I have a consonant and a consonant. So to make it easier to read, we're going to have to put E after the bond type. And this is now going to be applicable for both this and this. Okay? But now, as I mentioned earlier, if it is different, we're going to have to write them separately and alphabetically. So if you try naming this, it's going to be something like cyclobutane, right? 4 carbons. But for this, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hexanoic. So between C and H, it looks like C comes first in the alphabet. So we're going to have to write this first. So this would be, including this, would be cyclobutane carboxylic. That's one entire word. Space hexanoic. Space anhydride. At this point, I think we now realize that most suffixes for cyclic chains start with a consonant. So you can think of putting E here as almost automatic in the next examples. Okay? But this would do for anhydrides. Now, let's have our amides having the formula RCO NH2. And take note that this H2 is optional. You can replace this with 1 or 2 R groups and it will still be an amide, but we're going to have to know how to name that later. So, for example, if I have an open chain, I'm going to use the suffix amide. So we have here 1, 2, 3, 4, and all are single bonded. So I can just straight up write but, single bond, AN, and go straight with amide. Again, no need to put 1 because it is terminal. But since we have a methyl at number 2, you're going to have to put that at the start. But that can already exist as one entire word, 2-methyl butanamide. But if it was cyclic, you're going to have to again go with the longer version to respect the extra carbon. Okay. So we now write that as cyclo, 3 carbons prop, purely single bonded, AN, and then you go straight with the suffix carboxamide. I'm just putting it in the other line because it can't fit the entire line. Oh, and since this is a consonant and this is a consonant, we know what to do. In fact, I think I said earlier that it's almost automatic, right? So this is just one entire long word. Okay? Now, let's have this example, and I think these next two are interesting amides. For this one, we have the parent chain, still the one with the carbonyl group. Sometimes people make the mistake of always thinking that the one at the left is the parent chain, but clearly it's the case earlier because the CO was at the left. But now, since the CO is at the right, you now adjust, and of course, you start counting there. So it would now be 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's gonna be but. But you don't anymore write AN because you have a double bond between 2 and 3. So that would be 2N. So we write that but 2N, and then the usual suffix for open chains, amide. I don't see any conflict because we have consonant, vowel, and then consonant, vowel. But how do you name this? Clearly, I have here two carbons attached to this nitrogen, right? So I have here an ethyl. And it's not attached to any of these four locants in the parent. And in this case, it is now acceptable to use the nitrogen as a locant. So we literally write that as N-ethyl. So you put that at the start, N-ethyl. Now, in case you have to mix a letter with number, although we don't normally use this for common or basic examples, the IUPAC actually states that we have an alphanumeric prioritization, that if there's an alphabet, that takes precedence over the numbers, which we don't have an example, but if, for example, I have another ethyl here at number 2, it would be something like N2, because alphabet before numbers, right? Letters before numbers. Now let's have 62. And here we have a parent that is cyclic. So it's going to be cyclo. And I have 6 carbons, hex. Now I have a double bond and we need to respect that. Since our amide will still take priority, we're going to have to know that that double bond would be at number 3. We went here because we want to give this the priority, and the ethyl group will have to wait at the end. So it's going to have the number 5. So 3 for the double bond, so that would be 3 in. And then the suffix for cyclic amide is carboxamide. Again, we have here a case of 2 consonants, so I'm going to have to put E before. But as you can see, there's some kind of chaos happening here. So I have here 2 methyls at N and an ethyl at 5. Oh, look, this is actually a case where we can now indicate not just one, but 2 of them. And it's not really that different. Since you used the N twice, it would be something like NN dimethyl. And here I have a 5-ethyl. And remember, before you get the illusion that you use N before 5, again, when we write the prefixes, we don't care about the order of the numbers. We care about alphabetization. Oh, we don't even use the di, so it's the M. So E versus M, we will have to write the ethyl first. So it would be 5-ethyl NN dimethyl. Again, this is because we know that multiplicity prefixes do not count. So E comes before M. So this is the correct arrangement. That's one long entire word. Okay. Now let's have esters, which have the format RCOOR. And here, I kind of really color-coded it because I want to show that the R group with the single bonded oxygen is the first word, alkyl. And then the acyl group ends in OAte, like alkanoate. But again, if you have a cyclic parent, you have to respect the extra carbon and write carboxylate. Now let's apply that to our items here, starting with 63. So it seems here that this is the alkyl. So that's 2 carbons. So ethyl. So that's ethyl. And by the way, this is a legitimate space, so there should be space between those words. So ethyl space, and then this one. Okay. Oh, sorry. I'm supposed to use color blue for the alkyl here, just so we can be consistent. All right. And then space. This is 1, 2, 3. So that's prop. Then purely single bonds. And just end with, oh wait. So this is ethyl propanoate. Sometimes also, people kind of get confused or forget the fact that this is gonna be a bonded oxygen, or this is a bonded oxygen. So they mistakenly count this as carbon, but be careful, right? That's not carbon. Okay. So for 64, you can see I kind of flipped it because earlier the acyl group was at the left, but this time the acyl group with the CO is at the right. So it's now gonna be the alkyl at the other side, and then the O8 is at the other side. And my alkyl has 1, 2, 3, 4 carbons. Again, not including that. That's not a carbon, so that's butyl. Space. How about this? I clearly have 1, 2, 3, 4, but there's a double bond between 2 and 3. You know what? It looks a lot like this one, right? So it's gonna be buten, well, not amide, but butanoate, right? So this is now gonna be but 2N and then O8. Okay? And of course, the 2N is with respect to the double bond. So I'll just change the color. Okay? Now, how about 65? We now restore the carbonyl here. So this is now the O8, and this is the alkyl. So this is the first word. And so I can see that it's just an ethyl. Space. What's the next word? Since we have a cyclic acyl group, now it's time to use carboxylate. So it's going to be, I can see a cyclohexane. So that's going to be cyclohexane carboxylate. Let me move all of this. And that's it, because we don't really have any other substituents, right? And then for 66, this will be our last item. I have here the acyl group at the left, so it's still gonna be IL8, the usual format. So the one here looks like a simple cyclopropane. So I just write it as cyclopropyl space and then all of this. But you can see that there's quite a lot going on here. So if I count the parent chain, it's gonna be 1, 2, 3. So that's gonna be, well, for starters, prop, purely single bond, AN, and then OH, right? But since we do have locants, the substituents at locant 2, we're gonna have to put that before this one. Oh, why did I use green? We use red, right? So let me change that. And then, how do you put that? Alphabetical. So methyl is M, chloro is C, both at 2. So I'm going to have to write the chloro first. So this is going to be quite long. Maybe I can make it 3-liner. So it's going to be 2 chloro. So that's okay. And then 2 methyl. Well, supposedly it's one long word. Oh, maybe I can fit it. So let's put that here. So that's the final name. Cyclopropyl space 2-chloro 2-methyl propanoate. And that's the last example here. So again, here we have practice naming esters, amides, acyl halides, and anhydrides.